Hey, folks. Most of us are winding down right now, or have wound down over, having a look at the last 12 months. It's been a bit crazy. So we've put together a little something for you, which we're calling the Property Investment Essentials. Some of the best episodes of the Wealth Coffee Chats over 2023. They contain some reminders, some information, some knowledge, some tips, some tools, some techniques, maybe even some pontifications and opinionations, if they are real words, who knows, to help you keep navigating on your wealth journey. This episode, folks, looks at the exploding population. Unless you've been living under a rock, that's going on right now. And what we need to do in Australia to build another 1.2 million homes over the next 5 years. Just a little secret, I don't think the government can do it. It needs us, it needs you, it needs me. Will it happen? How's it going to stack up? And what does that mean to you and me over the next 20 years as property investors? It's a good one. So grab yourself a coffee, folks. You know the drill. Let's have a wealth coffee chat. If you want to dive a bit deeper into creating more momentum in your portfolio of investments or start, the best place to do that is clicking the link below and register for one of our property investor webinars where we talk about the strategies, the techniques, the ideas of creating, accelerating, and keeping a successful property investor portfolio. So, folks, that's it from me. You guys take care. Enjoy the Wealth Coffee Chat. Bye for now. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat. Marvellous Monday. Hope you're well, folks, wherever you are. If you think it's Get Rich Quick, you're in the wrong place. This is the wrong podcast. This is the wrong live for you. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat. Hope you're all awesome and well. Hello. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat. Good to see you here this morning. For the early birds in the house. Morning, Tim. G'day, mate. Hope you're well. Got Danny there. Danny, how are you, pal? Brendan also. Morning, Chris. Yep, got the coffees going. Flying out of Brisbane this morning, whoever you are. Cool. It's a lovely day, actually. Nice to be out and about. Might get out and about a bit later. As we get going. But let's do the quick intros, warm things up as we roll into this morning's Wealth Coffee Chat. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Jason Witten's my name. Most of you know that already, but if you don't, if you're new, hello. Welcome to the show. The show where we spend a little bit of time trying to sort out some fact from some fiction. Today, we might talk about some fiction. I think some wishful thinking. Certainly a clusterfuck of epic proportions when it comes to, unfortunately, our world of construction, residential construction, and what's going on. I hear a lot of rhetoric around it. We'll talk about that today. And we do this show about 8:10 each morning. So welcome along. Good to see you. Let's have a bit of a talk. Let's have a bit of a chat about what is going on out there in the world of property investing or property in general. Now, listen, unless you've been living under a rock, you know things are out of proportion when it comes to the supply chain. Right now in Australia, we are severely undersupplied when it comes to residential real estate. There's a number of reasons, none of which are surprising, let's say, but we're going to talk about it this morning. This wishful thinking, this absolute rubbish conversation that we're going to build 1.2 million homes in the next 5 years. I don't know who believes that, but let's talk about that this morning. That's what I thought we'd talk about today. And on the flip side, why, folks, you as a property investor should understand what that means, where it might happen, and what that will do to, our property values and market as we're rolling along. Property values have increased in the last 9 months, so have rents, and that's going to continue as we get into it. So let's have a look at what the general feel is. Anyway, my opinion, and where does my opinion come from? 20 years of property investing, helping over 10,000 people across Australia and New Zealand buy property. many, many tens of thousands of properties in their portfolios. And, you know, along the way, learnt one or two things over 20 years. And certainly one of those things is the understanding of the delivery mechanism of real estate. How does real estate actually come to fruition? It'd be probably a pretty important thing that the government would need to understand. However, let's talk about who's going to win from that one today. And I think that, I don't think you'd be surprised if you've been with me for a long... Yeah, exactly, Tim. Yeah, which builders are going to build it. So, you know, I think this is bullshit. The conversation that we're going to build 1.2 million homes to ease the crisis. It's not going to happen. And there's a few reasons why. And I'm going to point out a few and have a bit of a conversation with you guys. And then let's talk about what's the flip side for us. What does it put us in control? Now, let's have a look at number one. Actually, I'll go to this. Let's have a quick look at this here. Conversation Urbis, one of the most respected urban planners in Australia. And check out this. This is their opening statement in, how to build 1.2 million homes in 5 years. And so, the requires 240 housing starts. There we go. Look, check this out. And the country has never, folks, the country has never in our whole entire history, even in the best of economic times and conditions, we have never built 240 homes ever in Australia's history as a start for the 5-year run. All right, there you go. Well, but it's okay. Where do we pluck this number from and chuck that out there? All right. Anyway, so we've never done it, but we can do it, and in normal circumstances, I'm a pretty positive guy, right? I'm like, okay, let's pull the team together. We can do this. But to be honest, it's got the government involved, so I think it'll be a clusterfuck of epic proportions. But let's talk about that. So we've never built it ever, okay? And if you have a look at, folks, if you have a look at a couple of things that you need to understand about why it won't happen, why it's not going to happen anytime soon. Houses. Let's talk about houses. It's been pretty flat for 30 years. 30 years. We build the same amount of houses. Look at the average. Look at the mean there. It's gone up ever so slightly. And so 1970, there was 14 million people in Australia. Okay. Actually, I don't know the exact number. Maybe someone can quickly find out for me how many people were in 1970, but there was a lot less than today. There's 26 million people now. And let's even say it was, 20 million or whatever. It's way less than that, I think. I did this the other night. I'm pretty sure it's in the teens. But anyway, let's call it 15 million people, right? We've added 11 million more people and we're building the same amount of houses. What? Seriously, all right? What a joke, right? So, and, by and large, folks, the same thing happened. The same thing happened for, that's 50 years. Sorry, 50 years. All right. 12, there you go. 12.9. Thanks, team. 12 million people, right? 12 million people for 50 years. Come on. We were more productive 50 years ago as a ratio of the population for building houses. It's a joke. Anyway, that's not the conversation. Then, to be honest, apartments were about the same, semi-detached, townhouses, apartments. And then we had a bit of a run in here. We had a bit of a run after 2010 for a period of time, which started to match the desires, the needs for the Australian supply chain. And it was in the medium density, but that's been poleaxed. How did it get poleaxed, folks? Right? Check this out. What happened? What did the government do in their absolute genius maneuvers, these absolute idiots, seeking votes rather than thinking about delivery systems. So here in New South Wales, if you buy a property for $800,000 today and back in the day, two things, APRA and the foreign investment fee. Right. So some genius decided that they didn't want investment in Australia to produce real estate. They wanted to chase away investors, and they did a good job of it because they just left the country in droves. I mean, and this is my next conversation. Who's going to buy these damn houses in a minute? Right. So let's have a look. If we even build them, if we could build them, there's no one to buy them, and we'll talk about that in a second. Especially at the prices that they're going to be at. But anyway, let's look at this. Check this out. $800,000, buy an investment. I'm not a first home buyer. It's an established home or a new one. Let's just do new. No different. But I'm not a foreign purchaser. Look at that, $31,000 of costs and fees. Absolute highway robbery. Stamp duty was meant to get rid of because they had GST. But anyway, don't start me on that one. But let's do this. Let's say I was a foreign purchaser and I was qualified and all sorts of stuff. Check this out. Check that out. $64,000. What a joke. Right? Anyway, if your aim is to get more properties built, you've got to have people to buy them, folks. Now, I'm not talking about, it's a joke. Anyway, there you go. So it's not going to happen. Medium density. So why isn't it going to happen? Well, approvals of all of those properties since, like Chris, you and I sort of talk about that. Since the APRA malarkey, right? Down. Now, what is these little? What are those little bips there, folks? Down. Like in all places. Since 2018, or even a little earlier, depending on where you were, the number of approvals went down and is still going down. And approvals are a leading measure, a measurement to the future, okay? And you'll be interested in a minute. Usually we would say the time frame to deliver something. What were those little blips on the radar there, folks, when it came to, these things? Well, that was when the government gave away free money. Government incentives. So, those government incentives, you see it goes up, goes down, and by and large, the trend is down. Now, a huge amount of those houses haven't even been delivered. They were contracted in 2021. It's now almost the end of 23, and they still haven't been built, folks. Why? Well, again, governments giving away dosh have caused problems when it comes to the supply chain. Now, one of the big ones is it's taking longer to build. During COVID, obviously, had an issue, but now apartments, have gone up significantly, probably 1/3 longer to build an apartment. Townhouses up a bit, houses up a bit as well. So the time it takes to deliver this. Now, we've never built them, folks. We've never built 240,000. Whatever genius said we could, or is chucking that number out there, should be, have a bit of a look in the mirror and give himself a slap. And then probably look backwards and go, oh, well, when we were good, we would deliver them for this price and this time frame, right? It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. So it's going to take longer. There's less of them, right? And then my question to you is like, who the hell's going to buy them, folks? All right? And the cost is higher. It's going to take longer. We've never done it before. It's going to take longer. It's going to cost more. So it's going to cost more. The average price is going to be way more. We've got a lot of people, a population, which is good. That's great for you and me, established properties. And council controls and issues. They're not helping by any stretch of the imagination, folks. So the established properties, people can, buying. So There's more competition for established properties now, which is great if you've got one or you got one under control. There's huge amounts of competition for rent, which is great news for us as landlords and people who rely on our income to cover those things. But then who's going to damn well buy them, folks? Right? So a person who could borrow, who could buy an average property, an average new property, anywhere in a capital city on the East Coast, call it 750, maybe a smidgen less if it's an apartment, maybe, call it 100 grand less if it's apartment, call 100 grand more if it's a house, okay, and then, in Sydney, you wouldn't get a house for 750, not a chance. You'd have to go 100 kilometers away. So let's have a look at that, right? So, their borrowing power, max purchase price, right? And that's including a deposit, right? That's saying, okay, they're putting an X deposit or whatever it is, right? Their borrowing power, 558, their max purchase price over here, 937, has gone down. The maximum purchase price down $240,000, borrowing power down $200,000, average person. Who's going to damn well buy them, folks? They might produce them. They're certainly not going to produce them for you and me and the general public to buy. And this is the thing. This is the thing that we need to understand, keep an eye on, right? Because who's producing them, folks? Toyota, like the big companies, the big entities are, producing them. And the other part of this, the other thing of this is, check this out. Very sad this thing here. So as of late 2023, the ASIC data shows that 2023, that's just that's the number, not the date. 2023 construction companies have gone into liquidation since mid-2021. 2,000, folks. Imagine the people employed. Imagine those industries gone into liquidation. Now that's not even defining the ones that are struggling, and it's at all levels. Then how are we going to deliver this? How are we going to deliver it, folks? It's an absolute cluster. Absolute cluster. The ability for you and I to borrow has reduced 40-odd%. The average property price has gone up, and between 15 and 20% to construct. So the gap is big. So if we did build them, who would buy them? If we did build them, who could buy them? That's why I think the interest rates are going to go down, folks. I think they are going to go down. The quality of properties will probably be sacrificed and reduced. If you go to other places in the world, the starting investments, one bedroom and stuff like that, or smaller houses, smaller dwellings, further away from infrastructure, that's on the radar as we go. But here's the government's great idea. Let's give tax breaks. Let's give incentives to, big companies to provide, real estate to the market that we're that useless that we can't. We actually had a good system, folks, a system that allowed you and I to benefit and provide stock to the marketplace. There was a few tune-ups. I actually supported the idea of second-hand real estate being less attractive to investors, so owner-occupiers could purchase it. Investors can help provide the supply chain. Anyway, I've got a few ideas, but there you go. So who's winning? Not you, not me. By default, well, let's be accurate. You and I will win because we're smart investors. And the things like independent, standalone, owner-occupier homes and units and townhouses that are really nice that people would want to own, that they're going to be in demand, folks. They're going to be in demand. So that's going to push our values up, our property values up. I think smart investors are going to have some upside. Who's going to lose is probably the question. And unfortunately, owner-occupiers will lose. The government, long-term, will end up, it'll cost them, it'll cost them a lot of money. Anyway, but ultimately it doesn't cost them, does it? It costs you and me, which is the cost is passed on to us as taxpayers. Anyway, can they build the 1.2 million homes? Not a chance on the planet. Not going to happen for truckloads of reasons. Number one, who's going to build them? Like Tim said, who's left to build all these extra houses? Well, I'd be surprised, right? Yep. Trades are moving to other places, because they don't trust the supply chain. Now, if we said 10 years, well, maybe 10 years is doable. 5 years, not a chance on the planet. And it's going to take us 3 to 5 years to get our momentum back, folks. It's not going to happen. Anyway, what's the takeaway from today? The takeaway is this, ladies and gents, that if you are in position in your portfolio, the next 5 to 10 years, good quality property in a good location is going to get a good lift. The newer stuff has to be built at 20 to 30% more expensive. And the quality of that property, the sizes, the quality, the locations are going to be less than the things that you could buy now or maybe in the past a little bit. Anyway, a ratio depending on where you are and what you're up to. There's some great cities actually that have got some good buying left that, one of them's Melbourne, just so you know, folks. Anyway, I'll save that for another day. Wealth Coffee Chat done and dusted. That's it for today. Good to see you, folks. Thanks for joining me. Come along tomorrow for another one if you're up for it. Let's do that. As always, leave me a little comment in the chat if you want me to cover something or there's something interesting out there that I've missed. Let me know. Happy to pontificate, opinionate on that when it comes to the world of property investing. All right, folks, that's it from me. You guys take care. Great to see you. Remember, there's a couple sayings around here. Buy well, don't sell. This thing's a marathon, not a sprint. It takes time to build your property portfolio. Hang in there. All right, that's it from me, folks. Take care. Bye for now. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat. Marvellous Monday. Hope you're well, folks, wherever you are. If you think it's Get Rich Quick, you're in the wrong place. This is the wrong podcast. This is the wrong life for you. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat. Hope you're all awesome and well.